Hello students, and welcome back to SciVerse with Adnan. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of the cell, the tiny unit that makes up every living thing. Whether it's a towering tree or a small animal, life begins with a cell. And in this lecture, we'll explore the similarities and differences between animal cells and plant cells. Let's begin. An animal cell, as the name suggests, is the building block of animals. It doesn't have a cell wall or chloroplasts, but it does have several important organelles that help it survive and function. On the other hand, plant cells are the basic units of plants. They share many organelles with animal cells, but they also have some special ones, like the cell wall and chloroplasts, which make them unique. At the heart of every cell lies the nucleus, often called the control center or even the brain of the cell. It's here that the cell's genetic material, the DNA, is stored. The nucleus decides everything the cell does, from growth to division. Inside it, there's also a small but important structure called the nucleolus, where ribosomes are produced. Now, just like every city needs power plants, cells too need energy, and that comes from the mitochondria. These are the powerhouses of the cell. They take in glucose and break it down to release energy in the form of ATP. Whether in plants or animals, without mitochondria, life wouldn't be possible. Then we have the ribosomes, the little factories scattered across the cell. Some float freely in the cytoplasm, while others are attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Their job is to make proteins, which are essential for almost everything the cell needs to do. Once proteins and other materials are ready, they usually pass through the Golgi apparatus. Think of this as the post office of the cell. It packages, modifies, and sends out these products to where they're needed. Speaking of the rough endoplasmic reticulum, it's like a transport network where ribosomes sit and proteins are made, folded, and carried off. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum, on the other hand, doesn't have ribosomes, and it works more on making lipids and detoxifying harmful substances inside the cell. Now let's talk about vacuoles. In animal cells, vacuoles are small and many, storing little amounts of waste or nutrients. But in plant cells, there's usually one large central vacuole that stores water and helps the cell keep its shape. That's why plant cells look so rigid and firm. Surrounding the whole cell is the plasma membrane, a flexible boundary that decides what enters and what leaves the cell. Both animal and plant cells have it, and it works like a security guard at the gate. But here's where things start to differ. Plant cells have an extra layer, the cell wall. This tough covering made of cellulose gives the cell its shape and makes the plant stand strong. Animals don't have this, which is why their cells are softer and more flexible. Plant cells also contain chloroplasts, the green structures filled with chlorophyll. These act like solar panels, capturing sunlight to make food through photosynthesis. That's why plants can produce their own food, while animals must depend on other sources. Meanwhile, animal cells have their own unique features too. They contain centrioles, which play an important role in cell division. They also have lysosomes, tiny sacs filled with digestive enzymes. These are sometimes called the suicide bags of the cell because they break down waste material and even destroy old or damaged organelles. In plant cells, lysosomes are rare. So, to sum up, plant and animal cells share many organelles like the nucleus, mitochondria, ribosomes, and But plant cells stand out with their cell wall, chloroplasts, and large vacuole, while animal cells are unique with centrioles and more lysosomes. And that's the amazing world of cells. From the tiniest organelle to the whole structure, everything works together perfectly to keep life going. If you enjoyed this explanation, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to SciVerse with Adnan for more simple and engaging science lessons. Until next time, goodbye.